What do you get when you cross a glam rock frontman, a collapsed America, undead freaks, cults, mafia hit squads, and a plague cooked up in a government lab? You get chaos. Glorious pulp pounding chaos. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Already Overbooked. And today we're talking about a gritty, high octane ride through a ruined America. Three Rivers Plague by Zachary and Joshua Forbes. This book came out of nowhere and absolutely tore through my expectations. So let's go through and jump in. So we're going to start with the plot summary. The story kicks off with Thomas Wilde. He's a rock star. He's a drug addict. He is a reluctant survivor who broken out of a government sky shelter after a deadly plague begins turning people into these types of creatures. His bandmates get infected. The shelter goes into lockdown, and Thomas goes through and escapes into the ruins of Pittsburgh, a city now teeming with violence, decay, and the infected. Along the way, he runs into cultists who worship the plague, mafia clans controlling drug supplies, survivalists, and a whole lot of people who want him dead or worse. Meanwhile, Boston detective Dick Kennedy is investigating the origins of the plague, peeling back layers of government secrets and biotech cover ups. The novel goes through and shifts between these characters as they inch closer and closer to the truth. Who made the plague? Why was it unleashed? And what hope, if any, remains in this type of world? So let's go through and jump into the writing style. The book is broken up into 9 episodes, and it feels like your binge worthy TV series. The pacing is tight, the chapters are short, and scenes hit hard and they move fast. You can tell these two authors are not here to waste your time with these kind of fillers. Everything drives the story forward. The prose is modern, it's gritty, it's just all around fun. It feels like Stephen King, The Stand meets like Mad Max with a bit of rock and roll flair to it. So jumping into the themes and tones, there's a lot going on under the hood with this book. There is survival versus self-destruction. Thomas is battling the world, the undead, and he's also battling his own addiction, so his own demons he's trying to go through and maneuver. We deal with government control and cover-ups. We have Dick Kennedy's subplot dives into the ethical rot and the dangers of unchecked power. We talk about music a lot with this story, along with the memories that attached himself to that kind of music. And of course, the big one is what makes up a human in a world that's just completely fallen apart. Tone wise, this book it's grim, it's energetic, it's apocalyptic, but it has some hope in there as well. And when the horror hits, it does not flinch. It is so intense and it really sucks you in on how gritty and grime this world is. And it is so much fun. So, jumping into some of the pros and cons, of course, we're going to start with the pros. Like I mentioned, it's fast paced. There's no filler within this story. There's a lot of super unique character blends. Like we have the detective, we have the cults, we have our main cast is a rock band, which is something new and original, which I really loved. The atmosphere in this world feels lived in. It feels dangerous. It's these areas. You can feel like you can go there now and actually feel the intensity from the story. The episodic structure works great for this short reading burst. I truly love that because I kept catching myself going, okay, one more episode, one more episode. I just kept going and going within the story. Some of the cons, as I did mention, there are uniqueness with some of the character blends. There's some of the antagonists don't get enough development in there. They seem to be very similar to other individuals within the story. Like they all seem to have the same kind of motivation, which didn't really work well at times. But overall, the it was fine. It's kind of what you expect with these kind of stories. There's a few plot beats. Might feel very familiar if you're a seasoned post-apocalyptic reader. I've read a few, so there's a few I'm like, okay, I know what's going to happen here. I know what's going to hit here. But honestly, the voice and the energy more than made up for that repetitive plot beats or that familiar tropes that you would get within the post-apocalyptic types of stories. So jumping into my final thoughts, Three Rivers Plague is one of those reads that just work. It is raw, it is fast, and it has a real personality in it. It's not trying to be something polished, overly literary apocalypse. It leans into the weird, the grim, and just a total chaos, and it owns it. I went in expecting a fun, bloody romp through just chaos America, and to be honest, I got it. But what surprised me was the emotional undertone, the way that Thomas wrestles with his identity, his guilt, and his purpose now within this world was very well done. And then the conspiracy side of it with Detective Kennedy, which gave the story a whole new depth that I was not expecting at all, but I really, really loved it. Now, is the story perfect? No, but it is entertaining. And it's original in the areas that go through and count. And I can honestly say I generally had a fantastic time with this story. There was a lot of grit, there was a lot of grime, there was some originality when it came to like the undead, and it was just very, very cool, fun story. I ended up going through and giving this a 7 out of 10. I really, really like this story. This is the kind of book that reminds me on how good indie fiction can be when it's unafraid to be bold and unapologetically itself. If you're into genre blending apocalypse stories with a pulse, you're going to have a great time with this story. If that sounds like your kind of ride, grab a copy and go through and read it and let me know your thoughts. I'm really curious to go through and hear some of your thoughts. If you have gone through and read this, we need to go through and talk. What did you think of that ending? Where do you think the story's going? But keep it spoiler free in the comments, but I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You know what to do. Till I see you in the next one.